Do vampires piss?
They piss fire.
Well, because like their whole diet is liquid. You know, there's a lot of there's
black pudding.
Yeah, there's a lot of non-essential things, and like all that plasma is just running right through them. They're only taking the nutrients.
It's true. Yeah, they are consuming a lot of liquid, so they would probably have to piss somehow.
About 55% of blood is composed of plasma, of which 90% is water. So although you donate less than a pint of blood, almost half of this is water.
Interesting.
But if you bring just water to a blood bank, they get mad.
So if a vampire drinks a liter of blood, they're getting about 40 milliliters. Centiliters? How many centiliters in a liter? 10?
There's
4
1,000
centiliters.
There's 1,000 milliliters in a liter.
So they're getting 4 centiliters.
450. Yeah, 4.5 centiliters.
Thank you. Really fucking with the Americans here. Of water. And that's more than this.
That's like 2 cubits worth of water.
Cubit's a measurement. A length measurement.
It's
not even a volume measurement.
It's like the Old Testament, right?
Yeah, it's the length. The ark was measured in cubits.
It's Blood Feud with a sheep.
There is if it's like one of those, the architectural towers that are built too well so that the sun as actually, gets into a concave and reflects down onto the ground. And then, because this is a thing where there's an actual building that was built.
In Britain, they burned out part of the street.
Yeah,
because
because it focused
collected the light and it
focused the beam.
It's like a giant magnifying glass on ants.
Yeah,
100%.
It burned. Burned a whole bunch of cars and stuff like that, and the pavement on the
There
ground.
was like a Porsche 900
That's where they have the
that was just
gallows,
like
actually.
liquid and.
Sorry, it's where the gallows are?
Yeah.
No.
So they burn while they hang?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's dark. It's a religion all about suffering.
They hang at high noon. They pull the lever. Just burst into flames.
That's easy cleanup, baby. Metal gallows.
I didn't know about this. Where was this?
It was in Britain.
Yeah,
right?
it was in Britain.
Yeah, it was poorly architecturally designed because at certain points of the year, it turned out to be like a reflective lens.
And they built it and they finished it in the fall, and then summer came around and it just collected the sun, and like the temperature like melted. It melted the asphalt. It melted cars.
It melted a car, like the paint on the car, and
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm imagining the architect being like a James Bond villain.
Like a Blofeld, yeah.
Scorpio,
that I came
Hank
back.
Scorpio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, folks, it's time to reintroduce ourselves. My name is Rod. I play Alicordia, a human female rogue who's currently still in a body of a Goliath. I don't know when this is going to change, but it's going to...
I get it.
No, it's fine. I think this is cool because I'm still learning new things about, a Goliath. The fact that I had a shield before was pretty great. That was a new thing I learned.
Being like the fact that you're missing an arm.
Well, on the mini, yeah. Still, probably by this point, we might not have gotten to actually, fixing it by then.
We can't afford to print a new one, so it's canon now.
Yeah, armless.
Well, not armless. You've got one.
Yeah. Well,
He's unarmed.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott. I'm your gamekeeper and narrator for the session. And among many other characters, I play... I can't do the Don voice right now. I don't have any cotton balls.
Well, you can always use Steven's balls.
Why are you offering mine up? You got 2.
You
I
don't?
imagine.
Mine are already called for.
Anyways, I am Steven, and I play Shun, a halfling monk, and he is currently in the body of a human female paladin, the High Inquisitor. He's on a real power trip. It's great. Recently, he was also a potted plant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck, that was good.
I honestly, one of my favorite things is when you kicked in the door to the wedding. I was like, what are you going to do? And you're like, arrest them? Come on.
All the waiters, the servers stop and then just look at you and you're like, justice.
You're all under arrest.
I get the sense that every time I go to do something, Scott's just like, oh no, I've put him in a position of power. What's he about to do?
We're going to have to end this whole arc just because that.
I'd love to see how Shun is after this.
Me too.
Oh yeah, it's my turn. Hi. My name's Clark, and I play Losian, the half-elf cleric of Ilmater, who is kind of transitioning into another type of cleric. You listeners at home, you probably know what type of cleric he is based off of his class abilities, but I haven't revealed it just yet. It's meant to be like a little story revelation when it does happen.
So let's hit that rewind button.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name's Clark, and I play...
Now there's 3 magic items, but there's 4 of us. How do we decide which 3 get the items?
Well, let's see what they are first, maybe.
Okay. You ring the bell and you feel this. Whatever happened over the past 6 seconds, nobody except for you remembers. But they all remember you taking the bell out and ringing it for some reason.
Yeah, we didn't ask you to ring it yet.
Yeah, you did.
And Losian looks at this straw pork pie hat and goes, no, this is far too silly. And I zzz like a frisbee.
It lands on his head, and Sir Steele just goes. Where he was sitting, there's now a Snillnefrelheim, which is like the dark gnomes.
Or Alicordia will grab one bean and then just throw it into the corner.
A potted plant appears in the corner of the room.
Are you serious?
A small plant with blue flowers.
Wait, what?
Yeah!
In a pot. Grows from the bean. So Sir Steele picks up this giant fern, and he goes, I feel a magical urge to protect this plant with my life. And you all kind of do too.
There's something going on here. There's too much of a coincidence that all of these things are piling up on each other.
You see, in its full splendor and glory, the Citadel of Truth. And it is both breathtakingly beautiful and terrifying. You're walking up to the gate, and the soldiers look at you and immediately clasp their fists to their chest in a form of salute, and they start to kneel down, and then they pause for a moment. And then they stand back up, and they kind of stand back at attention. They say, they go, hi, my lord, what brings you to the Citadel?
Pardon me?
You are to be accompanied by a small garrison of guards to keep you from coming and going to places you are not meant to access, on direct order of your father.
And may I ask, who has recently received a promotion in rank?
High Inquisitor Sextus. We have the 10 Scion flag of ale here. Every drink is worth 1 Losian.
That's a sign. So Losian, I guess a stealth roll or something. I want to sneak away.
Well, the 4 master sufferers had, as you know, constructed the gates in and out of the tower of the Citadel so that no undead could come or pass, and only the truthful could enter. And the process was so intricate that it basically killed all 4 of them. All 4 of them passed away in making this project, where only the truthful and alive might pass. Each entry and exit, window, everything about the tower was locked down. And then Grand High Sapphire Arcturus came, and he provided basically all of the support of the High Clergy, except for the Living Saint. He spoke for the people. There was belief that should that Living Saint pass, he would have been next in line. He was this paragon of the people. And then they say he fell out of a window. We'll cut to the 2 of you heading towards the tower. And you reach the gates of the Citadel of Truth. And true to form, there's 4 main entrances to this tower, and they have a gateway, and everything else is fenced off, and you can see this shine of magic in and around. The entire tower glistens with it every moment of every day. Every time the light hits it, you can see this arcane sheer up upon it. There's no way in or out, save for these gateways.
So it's got like a whole bunch of glass and stuff like that going up it?
It looks like there's a mirage all around the tower, and it waves and falters with the coming and going of the sun, but it's constant. And there's no way in and no way out, except for 4 gates.
Well, lead on, Shun.
Okay.
You make your way to the gates.
Sorry, I thought you were just trying to explain
Everyone
it.
No.
Another way to explain it. I'm glad I came back to that now. That was a fun little historical tidbit.
Yeah, that was neat. Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
So the guards salute you, but this close to the tower, there is no genuflect, no kneeling. A quick salute, and then a, my lord.
Thank you. And I don't say that in like a shitty way of like address me properly. I say like I get it. We're like in the lion's den now. Very well. Let us go, Alicordia.
Lead on, Shun.
And we head in.
You're brought into the Citadel, and you pass through the gateway, and the gateway takes you like 10 full seconds to walk through, and the entire time it feels like you're being buffeted by high-paced winds, like high intensity. And finally you pop through on the other side because you're both alive and well and not really misrepresenting yourselves. And you wind up in kind of a courtyard. And there's a couple entrances into the Citadel proper. And you are met by guards who march you inside. And you're brought off to a holding room. And you're left there, ostensibly to wait until someone's ready to see you.
Can
This will not do. I was told Sextus would be here waiting for us. I expect to see Sextus immediately. Where is the Lord General?
I'm going to say that they go, we'll arrange to have him come meet you.
You will bring him here immediately.
He expressly said that you were to be brought to the room, my lord.
You will bring him here.
Any particular room? This one, in fact? Or another room of our choosing? Because I think a room of our choosing would be, I don't know, pretty good. Like, Shun, don't you have your own room here? Don't you live in this tower? I'm pretty sure I live in this tower. Can I just go to my room?
They look at you, Alicordia, and they go, my lord Alicordia, you have the respect of every soldier in this tower. There are none who value combat prowess more highly than that we have learned from you. Despite your father's treason, you have been the greatest ally
Excuse
the
me?
Saint has ever had.
Treason?
Yes.
What? Treason of what?
He spoke out against the Living Saint's edicts.
When was this?
Within the past 2 months, he decided the order of things was not to his liking, that he felt perhaps too strong a hand was being used against the small folk.
Well, how long and where is he now?
In the prison tower next to the Living Saint, where he's kept him for 2 months.
This is ridiculous. Take me to my room first, and then I'm going to go see my father.
No.
Now tell us, because we have been left in the dark for some time, it seems, here. How far have our ranks fallen that you now outrank us?
You're not under arrest.
Then great. I am free to leave.
But you're not free to leave.
Then you shall bring Lord General Sextus to us, and we shall have this matter settled.
The High Inquisitor Sextus has told us that you are to wait in the library. And that you are to be made comfortable.
Then I demand my comfort be done in my room.
That's what she said.
You think Lord Alicordia will be
he was pretty
comfortable
clear
in the library?
He was pretty clear about the library. He said, take them to the library and tell them to wait.
But make me comfortable.
And yet we were told that a messenger was sent and he would be awaiting us here.
What
is this disrespect from our new High Inquisitor?
He is aware of your presence, but has other
seems not to care.
tasks to attend. He is in a meeting with the...
I was very recently High Inquisitor, I know.
And now you are not.
I very well know the job.
High Inquisitor is currently meeting with the Living Saint, and you will meet with him when they are both finished. Please don't kill me.
We shall wait here until then.
Look, George, we're not going to kill you.
It's Jorge.
Jorge.
Racist.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I just can't read words right. I'm getting used to it.
It's a hard J, like GIF.
It's because it's graphics interface format. Anyway.
No, it's GIF. GIF like Johai.
Anyway, I'm going to my room.
No.
And, okay, she'll...
Yeah, you can roll for it.
She's going to definitely do intimidation.
Perception, yeah.
Oh, she's going to do intimidation and be like, I'm going to go to my room. And the Grand High Inquisitor, the new one, can come and get me there. 21 for intimidation.
He goes sickly pale. And he goes, oh, I'm pooping.
I'll tell you
Throws
what.
up a little in his mouth. There's dry heaves.
Mommy, it's happening again.
Ringing
in the sheath.
I'll tell you what, Jorge.
Ringing in the sheath.
I'll tell you what, Jorge.
Every day his glory, ringing in the sheath.
I promise you I won't leave the tower. I'll just go to my room, and I can be met there. She doesn't say anything. She just turns and starts walking away.
Fantastic.
I have told you I shall wait here.
In the library.
Until I am met here, as I said I would be.
He's coming.
Here.
Yeah, he'll come when he can.
Right here. I will not take a step from this spot.
Fuck me.
I will not. That is very inappropriate of you to ask. I shall see you stripped of all rank.
Also give me a intimidation check.
Oh, fuck. 18.
Lord Shun, I am placing you under arrest by the authority of the living saint. You will come with us, or you will be taken by force to the Gao.
The what?
Gao. Gaol. It's like, like a prison.
I thought it was pronounced jail.
It is pronounced jail.
Which one of us has the bell?
Englishy kind of.
Yeah, G-A-O-G-A.
Which one of us has the bell? Because you have the hat. You took the beans, correct? Would I have been left with the bell? Because we didn't actually divvy that up in the end.
I think it is pronounced like jail, but
I
for
guess
like
so.
a weird fantasy kind of
fair
vibe,
enough.
I ring the bell.
Because it's from the old, it's from the Gauls, right? The barbarians who would fight against Rome. And then, yeah.
I ring the bell.
I would love it if you would wait in this library. Why did you ring? Where did that bell come from? Dennis, how did you get a bell? I don't fucking care, man.
Now we shall try this again.
The first time, yes.
I shall wait here.
Like, roll for it again.
16.
Of course, my lord. You can wait here until the High Inquisitor comes for you.
Very well. And I stand there. I don't talk to anyone. I just stand there and wait. I don't care. I won that interaction.
But we cut back to the tavern where a woman walks in. And she goes up to the barkeep and she sees, there's a stew that's been cooking on the oven for a while. And she says, I need something to take home to the husband, of course. She looks across the bar. And it is not an unfamiliar face to Losian, but one that you never thought you would see again. She died a couple of years ago over a wash basin.
Losian's mother.
I just need some, some of your soup, and I suppose if we can get some fresh bread from the bakery next door, if you can run over and grab that for me. And she just stands at the bar and waits politely while the bartender heads off to grab it.
How old does she look?
I mean, about 3 years, or however long ago you saw her last, plus that.
Oh, wow.
Appropriately
Her son
aged.
died recently.
Okay. Oh, wow. I was not prepared for this. Losian freezes up like he'd seen a ghost walk in. And he's, oh? How far away is she?
I mean, across the bar, maybe 3 tables. It's not a big establishment.
He stands up and he walks deliberately across the bar. And this is, maybe it's because there's some paint thinner running through his system, but he just grabs her by the arm and he spins her to look at him.
Unhand me, you knave. You strange robotish man.
But he's wearing the hat.
Human mother, it is you. No. Let me express my love through wrapping my arms around thee.
I love you, mother. Please embrace me in arms and warm
Is
touching.
there anything we can do to make you friendly?
The humans are dead.
The Losian's father is the elf.
Unvent me.
He was a Losian's father was, I think, I don't have my backstory. I think he was a high elf, but he was a bricklayer.
Like super high? Of course he's a bricklayer if he's a high elf.
It's 420, boys. No, I always
Hand me, you knave.
I always wrote it that his father came from because high elves are supposed to be very intelligent, very wealthy, right? All that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But he was a bricklayer because he was kind of like the black sheep of the family.
High elves kind of give the vibe of like high society, old
Yeah.
Britain, like lords and ladies versus landed gentry versus
So he took
the
him-
aristocracy. Yeah.
But yeah, so his father was very lowly. Anyways, grabs his mother and she's, unhand me, you knave, and it snaps him back to reality. Whoa.
Whoa,
There goes
back to
gravity.
reality.
There goes gravity.
And everyone hits the roof.
And he goes, Mother.
What are you talking about, man? I don't. Who the hell are you?
I take the hat off. He's desperate. His mother, he visited his mother's grave.
He's also not a
numerous
half
times.
elf right now.
Oh, fuck it, but he's not thinking clear.
No.
Losian, what? Why did you look like a man who's a robot who runs a tech company?
Wait, say my name again?
Losian. And her mouth's doing the thing.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
but to
sure.
you, it feels
It's so
authentic.
close.
It feels real. If you close your eyes,
Mom, you were dead. You were dead, and I'm touching her face. You're back. You're back now. We can be a family again.
my silly boy, we've always been a family. Of course you know that. I mean, you've gone off adventuring and you've...
Wait, this is actually the Tinkerer's mother?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Didn't see that one coming.
You've gone off adventuring
Shut up.
and you've done some odd things that your father and I don't approve of, but you will always be loved and taken in by us. What?
I hug her. And I say, let's go home.
Of course, the manor's just nearby.
The manor.
Yeah, of course.
We're wealthy here?
I mean, because of your service to the living saint, we are, yes.
Of course, yes. Yes, my service to the living saint. I think he's imagining him bursting into flames once he enters the Citadel, but...
Lo, if you could just not mention your work with the living saints to your father. I know you know how he feels about it.
Yes. Yes.
He labored all his life, and we worked so hard to give you a future, and I don't know what deals you've made with that man, but we...
No, not a word, mother. Please lead the way. But I leave Sir Steele behind with the plank because I have totally forgotten about him.
Yes, I'm present at the... Oh, well, bud, I suppose it's just you and me. Oh, I see. So do you require bees, or... And we cut away from...
20 minutes later.
City
guard! There's a man fucking a plant!
This whole talk about the flowering plant. The last to evolve of all the plants you said, the most recent gene. Fascinating. You make your way to your family manor. And it's much more grandiose and like sprawling than you imagine. Like you had a simple life. And from nothing, this family has built up a small stake of what is a very, very high... real estate's hard to come by in this town because the tower has overtaken so much. Just so to have a block of it within the city is like a significant achievement.
Is there a rocket car?
There is not a rocket car. But there's like several carriages.
Okay.
And there's like this beautiful sprawling garden. There's help all over.
So close to
And
a
she
rocket
starts
car.
walking in and she just kind of hands the stew off to some handmaid. And she says, Lolo, your father's in there. And I know you don't like it, but he has been into the drink again. And if you could just If the two of you could just get along for once, I would love that.
Of course, why wouldn't I? Of course. Losian had a pretty good relationship with his father, if I remember correctly, his backstory properly. And so he said, of course.
It'll go well here.
Yeah, as far as Losian knows, yeah.
Of course. So he quickly, doesn't run, but proceeds into the room. As Scott, to get in character, downs an entire bottle of whiskey.
You... Fuck.
Suddenly he became a very angry Irishman.
I think they're just called drunks.
To our Irish listeners, we apologize.
We're that, so it's okay.
But you know it's true.
You enter into the manor. Oh, fuck. You enter into the manor, and in the main foyer, you can see right off the bat that there's a fire burning a couple rooms off, in a room off to the side. And you kind of just make your way towards the warmth without thinking, and you see a man, and he's sitting in a smoking jacket right next to the fire, and he, in fact, has a huge glass of whiskey next to him, and he's just drinking it. It's very clearly the Lord of the Manor, and he's just having a fucking, Irish Four Fingers of whiskey in his glass at the end of the day. And he's just kind of mumbling to himself, shit city, I can't even...
Father.
Huh?
It's I, Lolo.
I love the fact that it's Lolo. It's me, Lolo.
I'm home, Father.
Papa.
Listen here, boy, you'll act like a man in my presence and you'll like it.
Oh?
That was oddly suggestive.
Okay, there's some context that only Steven saw there.
Yeah, only for what you're picking up.
As he pulls out the perforated paddle. Thank you.
If it was up to me, you'd be a fucking acolyte of the church right now. What brings you home, Losian?
Ooh, wasn't prepared for that one. I'm here on business.
He whips his whiskey glass into the fire, glass and all, and more fucking tasks for that disgusting shell of a man.
He's referring to the
living saint.
The living saint.
Best as you know, yeah.
Erasmus. Father, tell me, for the umpteenth time, why do you hate him so?
Losian, you have brought our family untold wealth. Traded all for a shred of dignity. These experiments that you do for this man are aberrations against nature.
I look at the, what's it called when you put an IV in an arm? There's a term for that part.
Oh, like the
sticky party?
The sticky part. Yes, the catheter. I look like they're kind of like catheters in my arms, right?
Yeah, they're like,
but not my penis.
they're stints.
You
look at your hole.
I look down.
It's weirdly serious for how much we're joking around. I love it.
At my port on my arm that I've injected fluids into before, and I look up at my father. Does he look like my father that in my memory?
Not 100%, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And he's got enough similarities that I would think you're willing to overlook those.
After looking at the port and remembering injecting myself with fluids, I go, which experiments?
And he whips another glass of whiskey. You and I both know what's happening here, Losian. He's paying you to come up with technology so he can get out of that fucking tower. And if you make that happen, you'll be the richest man in all of Redelmos. I have had many things in my life, but a son I'm proud of is one that I'm yet to come across.
He can't leave.
Of course he can't.
Because
the hell that man would unleash upon this world? Look what he's done with what he has now. I think Clark means what keeps him there.
Yeah, like, he can't leave.
The gates keep him there.
Because
The master sufferers put them up. Boy, where have you been these past few years? This man is imprisoned by his own hubris, by his own power. You have always been too much of a dreamer to see that. You've been willing to sell your soul for a couple gold coins. But I know better. This man is a disgusting aberration upon the gods. He doesn't worship Ilmater. He worships no one but himself. We cut back to the tower where you're heading back to your room. So let's talk to Alicordia.
Yep.
You don't know where the fuck you're going. And this is a tone shift for me, so let me get back into it.
Homer Simpson looking for the bathroom.
There's hallways everywhere.
Yeah. So
this is a goddamn labyrinth. It's Winchester-esque. You don't know where you're going.
So setting the scene, Alicordia has just turned 90 degrees and walked away from Jorge. And has started.
How dare you?
And just started.
Was it George now?
And just started walking away. And like she's walking the opposite direction of the way that they came in. And so she's heading down the hallway. She will head towards basically what she remembers of where her home would have been.
Like her house in Kronos?
Yeah. The sort of the over the shop apartment where her and her mother had lived.
You kind of hit in that general direction, and you kind of hit a couple switchbacks, and like the hallways aren't straight like the way you would think they would be, and you're standing in a hallway, and you would think you could see the end of the hallway, but there's like turns in the building, like it was built by a madman. But you can still see there's tons and tons of windows, and a lot of it is stained glass. But there's a lot of like just regular glass windows where you can see out, and you eventually are able to kind of finagle your way there. And what you find in place of your family home is a small, simple study. And in that study, there's a couple of acolytes who are kind of kneeling and praying together in a circle, and you can hear them kind of chanting something. And it's like, it's a non-committal chanting. It's not like in a ritual or anything. They're just like, God is good, God is great, let us talk about this plate.
Okay, yeah.
But more importantly, you find the relative space you should be in. And it feels very homely and very familiar and very comfortable. But it also feels like this is a place I know. And I know that there's something here. But in terms of what I see, it doesn't match what I know. So what you see is a room of devotees, but what you know is something on a deeper intrinsic level, if that makes sense.
Kind of? Yep. All right.
Can you tell me what Alicordia would do with that knowledge?
She never kept on paying for the apartments after she had left them before she moved to the tower and started working for the Sabur.
Hey, give me an intelligence check.
14.
Yeah, like, you feel like you would have lost this space, but it still holds an intrinsic importance in terms of, like, a nexal causal area. Like, it's important because it's important to you.
Yeah, okay, yep. So she's walking through the area into it, and it's kind of bringing some mixed feelings because she hasn't been there in at least about 3 years after Davis had been taken by Reggie at that point. So, and then had the altercation with her mother. So she is a little bit kind of relieved that it's not destroyed or anything like that, but also it is kind of different because it's not. This is my home, but it's not my home. Obviously there's something quite different about this place, but the acolytes, where are they praying at an altar or something, or?
There are acolytes kind of all over the place, and they seem to find any place that has some sort of significance or value. It's almost like they can feel the ley lines of faith, and they feel where there are stronger vibes of energy, or there's definitely something here that calls to you. It seems like an empty room, but and yet there are acolytes gathered here where there are not in other hallways. You know, like there's a value to this space, even if it seems like there's nothing.
Okay. So she walks up to an acolyte saying, hey, you.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was a joke. Hello.
Yeah, so what are you doing here? Do you know who I am?
Everyone knows who you are.
Great. Get out.
Yeah, no, all right, yeah, that's fine. 12 acolytes stand up and then walk out.
Yeah.
And you're left alone in an empty room that has a couple books along a shelf.
Ended up in the library anyways.
Yeah, 2 desks, and just like a general workspace.
Yeah, so Alicordia sort of looks around her space, kind of sort of takes the shield off her back and puts it down, and then just sits down into a chair. And then is just like, oh, where and why?
Was it that moment you just hear like against the window?
The window.
Yeah. And there's just a raven tapping its beak against the window.
What the?
Ooh. Intrigue.
Okay, so it goes up to the window, and it's a pull awning. We'll just say it's a pull awning. Yeah, pull awning.
No, the window doesn't actually open.
OSHA does not exist. There's no safety rules here. It's a pull awning.
Yeah.
It's just like,
How'd it sound again?
So she pulls. Shut up. So she pulls it open. He pulls it open and looks at this raven.
he kind of like tilts his head, and then he tilts it the other way, like he's in such an intrinsically curious bird, and he's looking at you like, huh? Is this...
All right, bird.
And the moment you get close to this bird, it like gets real spooked and it flies off. And just sitting on the windowsill there is just like a small bundle of paper. Like you've been holding it for years or weeks.
Okay. She tries to look over, like she picks up the bundle and tries to look over and try to watch the raven fly away. Flies around the tower and disappears from sight.
Ravens are not bound by roads.
Yeah, as the crow flies. She's like, all right.
Yet.
I mean, she thinks to herself, it's like, there's so many goddamn weird things that are happening right now. Right? Like, whatever. And she opens up the papers.
I am with you.
Thank you, Scott, but what does the paper say?
I am with you. Who?
It doesn't say anything more. I am with you. And nothing more.
Isn't it like a handwriting that I kind of recognize, anything like that? Or...
It is fancier and more flourishful than anything you've ever seen.
So she just drops the paper and then it's like... She just sits down again. Kind of just puts her hand on her forehead. Starts rubbing it and just tries to think of what like her next plans are going to be.
As you fall deeper into thought and try to come to terms with what's happening this day, the library is silent. And by library, I mean the room that you're in, because you refuse to go to the library. Except for in the background, the sounds of